Good evening, everybody. This is the cable broadcast of the McFarland swim meet, girls swim meet, between the Edgewood Crusaders, the Lodi Blue Devils, and the McFarland Spartans. We'll be starting this morning or this afternoon with the girls 200 medley relay. So this is just a bit of a different meet that normally you would see. This is going to be a triple dual meet, meaning the McFarland Spartans will be battling both the Edgewood Crusaders and the Lodi Blue Devils. So you'll see, we'll give you three different scores. One between McFarland versus Edgewood, one between McFarland and Lodi, and then Edgewood versus Lodi. So we're going to start off again with the event number one, the girls 200-yard medley relay, junior varsity. In lane two for McFarland, it's the McFarland's B relay of Bolhak, Vidrio, Cook, and Thorson. Edgewood in lane four, Brock, Budzinski, Stevenson, Urzaski. And the McFarland A relay in lane five of Pope, Zoo, Chandre, and Malweg. Edgewood off to a good start here with the backstroke. And the exchange to the second swimmer who will be performing the breaststroke. So in the medley relay, it goes back, breast, butterfly, and then freestyle. Exchange here for McFarland. Edgewood out to a comfortable lead here in the third leg. And the final exchange here into the freestyle. Looks like this will be an Edgewood victory, 2:08.42. McFarland comes in with a time of 2:22.37. And finishing off for the relay is Kyla Thorson. And our next event here is the girls 200-yard medley relay, the varsity, in lane 2. McFarland B relay of Douglas, Mignon, Worth, and Van Horn. Lane 3 is the Lodi A relay of Andrews, Frost, Groshek, and Ballenbach. Lane 4, the Edgewood relay of Bloom, McGuire, Thompson, and Reed. Lane 5, McFarland's A relay of Green, Tobin, Alf, and Schwab. And Edgewood's B relay of Reed, Vega, Jensen, and Rothering. Edgewood coming into this meet is ranked number 1 in Division II in the state, as assigned by Wiska. Bloom out to an early lead here for Edgewood. Nice exchange there by Edgewood in the water with other McFarland and Lodi teams, and into the breaststroke. Edgewood out to a comfortable lead, about 2 body lengths. The B relay of Edgewood getting pretty close there, having a good fight with McFarland. And a nice exchange there for the B relay for McFarland. McFarland's A relay and Edgewood's B relay getting pretty close there. Schwab for McFarland, Rothering for Edgewood. They turn. It's going to be close. Schwab pulling away. It's going to come down to the touch. Schwab with the win there, coming in second place. First place, Edgewood, 156.21. Second place, lane number 5, McFarland, 203.09. Third place, Edgewood's B relay, 203.36. All right, next up we have the girls 200-yard freestyle. We were combining the junior varsity and the varsity. So in lane 1, the lone Edgewood swimmer for junior varsity, Bella Urzagaste. And then in lanes I'll just check that for a second. Sorry, she's in, Urzagaste is in lane 7. My mistake. For the varsity, we'll have McClure for Edgewood in lane 1, Casey Draper for McFarland in lane 2, Izzy Enns for Edgewood in lane 4, Olivia Turney for McFarland in lane 5, Sylvia Thompson for Edgewood in lane 6, and Ellie Draper for McFarland in lane number 8. Again, this is the 200-yard freestyle. Izzy Enns in lane 4, state swimmer. He's qualified for state all 4 years. She's out with a comfortable lead, 27-41 for her first 50. Rest of the pack's 29s and 30s. Just checking the Division II top times on the Wisca.net website. Izzy Enns does have the top time this year with a 1:52.31. See what she can do here. Sylvia Thompson for Edgewood, who's in lane 6, is also a 1:58.14. She's currently third top time in Division II for the 200 free. Nice, easy strokes here. And she finishes with a 1:58.04. Nice swim for Izzy. Lane 6, Sylvia Thompson, 2:07.09. And in third was Edgewood's Bella Urzagaste. So then fourth place, which is lane 1, Alex McClure for Edgewood. So a sweep for Edgewood in the 200-yard freestyle. So just a note for scoring for everybody. In the relays, they score the top 3, 8 points for first, 4 points for second, third gets 2 points. In the individual, the scoring goes 6 points for first, 4 points for second, 3 points for third, 2 points for fourth, 1 point for fifth. So it's important not only to get the relay points, because those are double typically, but it's also important, just winning the event is important, but you could definitely get a situation where you could have one team win first place and the second place team get second and third and actually score more points than the individual winner. All right, we are ready for the girls' 200-yard individual medley. This is the varsity version of the girls' 200-yard individual medley. In lane 1, we have Brenner from Edgewood, Izzy Tobin for McFarland in lane 2, Nola Frost for Lodi in lane 3, Izzy Bloom for Edgewood in lane 4, Sophia Elf for McFarland in lane 5, Sam Vega for Edgewood in 6, Violet Brolenbach for Lodi in lane 7, and Karina Zhao for McFarland in lane 8. The individual medley is a little different than the medley relay. In the individual medley, it goes butterflies, the first section, then backstroke, and now you'll see the turn into the breaststroke, and then the breaststroke going into freestyle. Usually you see the breaststroke, you'll see some makeup. If they're a strong butterflyer and backstroker, you can see the breaststroker make up some time here. So see how things go. lane 4, that is Izzy Bloom. And currently, Izzy Bloom with the top time in the state, 209.94. Should be a little off of that time this time. 212.84 for Edgewood. Lane 6, Sam Vega. .222.41. And in third, Ruthie Brenner, 227.53. Fourth place, Sophia Elf with a 229.96. Nola Frost for Lodi with a 230, spot 70. All right, the next up is the girls' 50-yard freestyle. All right, for the girls' 50-yard freestyle, we have 2 heats for the junior varsity. So in heat 1, we'll have in lane 2, Bola for McFarland, Carson for Edgewood in lane 4. Lane 5, we'll have Ameti for McFarland. Lane 6, Hampton for Edgewood. And in lane 8, Thorson for McFarland. This is the shortest race on the high school events. Down and back. Try to put your head down and go as fast as you can. It's all about your start and your turn. And a great turn there for Trinity coming in. It's going to be a great time for her, 34.29. And she looks pretty happy about that. We've got Kyla Thorson coming in. Lane 8. Soft touch, but looked to me about like a 103. It's a good time for her. 104.12. All right, we have the next heat coming up. Heat number 2 for the girls' junior varsity. Bear for Edgewood in lane 1. Chandre for McFarland in lane 2. Rothering for Edgewood in lane 4. Pope for McFarland in lane 5. Reed for Edgewood in lane 6. Malweg for McFarland in lane 8. a great start there by Rothering. Good turn and a breakout. .26.49 for Rothering. Good time. Second is lane number 6, Emma Reed. 27.29. And in third, Grace Bear. 28.91. All right. Up next is event number 8, the girls 50-yard freestyle varsity. We'll have 2 heats. The first heat will be made up of 3 swimmers. Homewood for Lodi in lane 3, Rank for Edgewood in lane 4, Caroline Green for McFarland in lane number 5. It looks like Mari Rank coming in 26.98, followed by Caroline Green, 28.12. All right, the next up we'll have the second heat. Van Horn for McFarland in lane 2, Groshek for Lodi in lane 3, Sophie Reed for Sophie Reed for Edgewood in lane 4, Natalie Schwab for McFarland in 5, McClure for Edgewood in lane 6, Colliard for Lodi in lane number 7. There's a nice shot of head coach Jess Garvey. Good race here between the top 3 swimmers. McClure for Edgewood, Sophie Reed for Edgewood in lane 4, McClure in 6, Schwab in 5, and it is a 25.55 for Sophie Reed, 25.58, 3/100ths difference for Katie McClure, and then third place 26.27 for Natalie Schwab. So it is Parents' Night here in McFarland. There's going to be a slight break while they do some Parents' Night presentations, and we will be back for the second half of this meet in about 10 minutes or so. right, we are back. We're going to start with event number 11, the girls' 100-yard butterfly. We're combining the junior varsity and the varsity. In lane 7 for junior varsity, it'll be Ruthie Brenner for Edgewood. For varsity, in lane 1, we'll have Polly Stevenson with Edgewood in lane, like I said, in lane 1. Addie Worth for McFarland in lane 2. Jane Jensen, Edgewood in 4. Sophia Alf for McFarland in 5. Bazinski for Edgewood in 6. Zoo for McFarland in lane 8. It's going to come down here to Sophia in 5, Jensen in 4. Good turn there. And up in lane 7 is Ruthie Brenner. That's the junior varsity swimmer. Sophia with a slight lead going into the last 25 here. Let's see if she can bring it home. They're going stroke for stroke. Jensen pulling ahead just at the end. 1:07:27 for Jane Jensen. And actually, Ruthie Brenner, the junior varsity swimmer, 1:06:98, actually came first in that heat. But it is Jane Jensen for Edgewood with a 1:07:27 in first place, followed by Sophia Alf, 1:08:07. Third, lane 6, Olivia Bazinski, 1:10:71. Scores after the 50 free, so just after the break there. Currently it is Edgewood 51, Lodi 8. Edgewood 48, McFarland 14. And in the McFarland versus Lodi duel, it is McFarland 49, Lodi 10. All right, next up is the junior varsity girls 100-yard freestyle. In lane number 1, DeMarb for Edgewood. Lane 2, Carson for Edgewood. Lane 3, Cook for McFarland. Lane 4, Rothering for Edgewood. Lane 5, Mignon for McFarland. Lane 6, Olson for Edgewood. Lane 7, Vidrio for McFarland. Lane 8, Stevenson for Edgewood. The 100 free, 4 lengths of the pool. Rothering for Edgewood, Olson for Edgewood, out to a comfortable lead, followed by Mignon. And at the turn, 28:62 for Rothering, 29:92 for Eliza Olson, and Mignon at a 30.83. See what we can do for the next 50. And it looks like Rothering is going to make the turn, coming back home here, last 15 yards or so. It looks like it'll be a 1-2 finish for Edgewood. 1:00:65 for Rothering. 1:02:19 for Olson. And Mignon with a 1:03:84. Next up is going to be event number 12, the varsity version of the girls 100-yard freestyle. We'll have 2 heats for this event. The first heat we will have in lane 3, Homewood for Lodi, Rank for Edgewood in lane 4, and Douglas for McFarland in lane 5. Got a little slight delay here. We're getting everything set for this first heat.
Lane 2 is wrong, Nick. Should be a 124. You good? Yeah, lane 2's time was wrong.
Good idea. Check on a time here for lane number 2, so they adjusted that. Now we're ready for heat number 1. Good starts there by Rank and Douglas, Edgewood and McFarland. Douglas first to the wall there on the 25. Swimming well. Nice long strokes there by Douglas. 29.58 for her first 50 compared to 30.61 for Mari Rank. Nice turn again by Rank as she's coming into the finish. About extending it now to about a body length. She's going to come in with a 101.67. 103.13 for Mari Rank for Edgewood. And Homewood coming in. She touches, soft touches there, 129.17. We're adjusting the times here. Making again some adjustments here while we wait, slight delay. All right. Heat number 2 for the girls 100-yard freestyle. Van Horn for McFarland in lane number 2. Frost for Lodi in lane 3. Reed for Edgewood in lane 4. Schwab for McFarland lane 5. McClure for Edgewood in lane 6. Andrews for Lodi in lane 7. This is the same group, just about the same group that swam that 50 free, so we'll see if they get the same results here. Sophie Reed out in front, 26.76 for her first 50, 27.46 for McClure. Schwab coming in at 28.22 for their first 50. And as we're coming in to home, it looks like Sophie Reed will take the win here. Her time 55.75. Second is McClure, 56.37. Third, Natalie Schwab, 58.11. All right. Next up is the girls 500-yard freestyle. We are combining the junior varsity and the varsity. And right now you see the referee giving the instructions to the counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're looking for some other counters. And here they slowly come. While they are giving the instructions on the 500 free, we'll go over the lineup. Lane 1 and in lane 7 will be the Edgewood Junior Varsity of Gaste and Brock. Gaste in lane 1, Brock in lane 7, both for Edgewood. And for varsity, lane 2 will be McClure for Edgewood, lane 3 Tierney for McFarland, lane 4 Izzy Enns for Edgewood, lane 5 Casey Draper for McFarland, and lane 6 Sylvia Thompson for Edgewood. While everybody gets in place, I do want to remind people that are watching the stream, we do have chat. So if you have questions or comments, feel free to make those comments. To answer Justin's question about volleyball, I do not know. I am assuming no, given we're here at the swimming event. All right, Izzy Enns out early here. 29.09. Again, this is the 500 freestyle. So as this is the longer event, I usually give my announcements at this point. Just like to remind people our next swim broadcast will be Tuesday, October 11th at 6 o'clock versus Monroe. That is senior night. So if there is a event that you really like to, if there's one event that you want to watch, it is senior night. So please join us on Tuesday, October 11th at 6 o'clock. It is the McFarland Spartans swimming against Monroe that night. Other programming for the WCMF, Senior Film Fridays. Tune in to enjoy film classics twice a month. Showings will be broadcast at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m., beginning with a McFarland Senior Services news flash, followed by a feature film. Tune in at TDS Cable Channel 1009, Spectrum Cable Channel 982, or online at www.mcfarlandcablechannel.com. This month's theme, Vincent Price Film Fest. Watch the 1959's The Bat this Friday, October 7th. The Bat is a crazed killer known as the Bat, is on the loose in a mansion full of people. And then on Friday, October 28th, tune into The Last Man on Earth, film from 1964, and when a disease turns all of humanity into the living dead, the last man on Earth becomes a reluctant vampire hunter. Those are two movies I will definitely be watching. Also a reminder, Friday, October 14th, Spartan football versus Evansville. That is also senior night, so please tune into that as well and wish our seniors well as they come up to the ending of their careers in the sports that they've committed to. Also a reminder that this production is brought to you by the McFarland Communications and Technology Department. Today's staff includes Andrew Day, Stephanie Miller, and of course Nick Boucher. We have some different camera angles this time. Added a different camera. I don't know if we can show that third camera. There you go. Showing of the starting block, so it's a great angle getting off the start there. Our scores after the girls' 100-yard varsity. So this is again a triple duel, meaning all three teams are competing against each other in essentially separate meets, if you want to think of it that way. And Edgewood versus Lodi, 77 for Edgewood, Lodi for 11. In the Edgewood versus McFarland meet, Edgewood leads 68-26. And in the McFarland versus Lodi meet, it is 75 for McFarland, 13 for Lodi. So we are coming close to the end of this race. It is 20 lengths. There is the horn, sounding the bell lap, or in this case the air horn lap for Izzy. And Izzy Enns is going to end up winning this event. We had a soft touch there for Izzy, which is a bit unusual for her. She's a seasoned swimmer, so we'll blame the pad on that one. Looks like we have a small malfunction here with the timing, so we're gonna have to get times from the timers to confirm the finish. So we're gonna have a slight delay here while we get this taken care of here. They're showing now is the time from the button. So every lane has not only has the Colorado was the system that it's called. So when they touch the touchpad, it sends a signal to the Colorado system that stops the timer. If that ends up failing, or there's what's called a soft touch, where they hit the top of the pad versus the middle of the pad, then they go to a button that every timer pushes as they hit. So that's the plunger that they call it. And then they also, as they third check, then you'll see timers behind the blocks. They will also have a stopwatch that will check the time. So, unofficial results, Izzy ends in first. And let's Sylvia Thompson, I think, in second in lane number 6. But we'll have to get that checked. I'll get the results at some point. So next up is the girls 200-yard freestyle relay junior varsity. Lane 4, Edgewood, the team of Brenner, Olson, Bear, and Jensen. Lane number 5, McFarland's A relay of Chandre, Bola, Malweg, and Cook. Lane number 6, Rosamund Eric, Carson, Hampton, and DeMarb. That is your Edgewood B relay. All right, just handed the results here for the 500-yard freestyle. Izzy ends in first with a 5:17.01. Sylvia Thompson, 5:34.37, came in second. Alex McClure for Edgewood, 5:49.19. The top 3 swimmers all from Edgewood. Casey Draper for McFarland came in fourth with a 6:07.52. And Olivia Tierney in fifth, 6:11.14. The junior varsity, Urzagaste for Edgewood, 5:55.69. Ashlyn Brock, 6:08.54. So those are your results of the 500. Back to the 200-yard freestyle relay. Edgewood coming in. Nice time, 1:53.82. And that'll be followed by McFarland's Junior Varsity relay with a time of 2:10.02. Edgewood's B relay, 2:15.27 coming in third. All right, the next event is the varsity 200-yard freestyle relay. In lane number 2, McFarland's B relay of Ellie Draper, Eliza Pope, Calista Mignon, and Casey Draper. In lane 3, Lodi's relay of Ballenbach, Andrews, Groshek, and Frost. The A relay of Edgewood is in lane 4, Enns, Rothering, McClure, and Reed. Sophie Reed. In lane number 5, the A relay for McFarland, Sophia Elf, Van Horn, Douglas, and Tierney. And in lane number 6, it is the B relay for Edgewood of Renk, Budzinski, McClure, and Urzagaste. So the 200 freestyle relay, 4 swimmers each doing a 50. The key to this relay is really the exchange between the 2 swimmers. If you watch the swimmers come in, the person on the blocks cannot leave those blocks until the hand touches on the relay. So you'll see this turn here coming in from Edgewood. Edgewood's in first place here in lane 4. And here they come. You'll see as they come in, that is where they can leave the blocks. Here's another example of that. There we go. And the swimmer on the blocks really has to trust the swimmer coming in and taking the right amount of strokes. And you don't want to have a short stroke or a long stroke, and that can really mess up the timing and cause disqualification. Those are 2 clean, all of them were pretty clean exchanges. The Edgewood A relay out in front here. And it looks like a race for second between the McFarland A relay and the Edgewood B relay. You're going to want to watch that. McFarland with a slight edge, but both swimmers get in the water at the same time. It's going to come down to Tierney and Urzagaste. Edgewood with a 141.65 winning that event. And you got something close here. Who's going to touch first? It's going to reach. And Edgewood just beats out McFarland's A relay. Edgewood's B relay of 151.22 versus McFarland's 151.47. Less than 0.2 of a second between those two relays. Great race. All right, our next event will be the Junior Varsity Girls 100-yard backstroke. We'll have two swimmers, Ashlyn Brock for Edgewood and Kyla Thorson for McFarland. There you go. And the backstroke, you're looking for some good underwaters, trying to get out as far as you can. And a good strong kick. You have that stroke that's trying to, it's a good turn. So at the turn, the swimmer is allowed to turn on their belly and flip turn into the wall. There's Kyla. There we go. $12.78 for Ashlyn Brock. And here comes, there you go, Kyla Thorson, finishing her event as well. All right, the next up is going to be event number 18, the girls 100-yard backstroke varsity. Lane number 1, Jensen for Edgewood. Lane number 2, Izzy Tobin for McFarland. Lane 3, Groshek for Lodi. Lane 4, Bloom for Edgewood. Lane 5, Green for McFarland. Lane number 6, Emma Reed for Edgewood. Lane number 7, Andrews for Lodi. Lane number 8, Worth for McFarland. We have a there we go. All right. All right, here is the start of that 100-yard backstroke for varsity. Got Izzy Bloom for Edgewood, Caroline Green for McFarland. in first and second. Keep an eye out for Jane Jensen in lane number 1. She's currently in third. As we come into the end, you'll notice as you come into the finish, there are flags above them. That's how they count. They know as soon as they catch the flags, they have 1, 2, or 3 more strokes, and then reach for that wall, just like that. 101.70. Caroline Green coming in with 104.25. Third, lane 1, number 1, 105.81 by Jane Jensen. Fourth place, Emma Reed for Edgewood, 105.94. Go.
Results for the varsity 200-yard freestyle relay. In third, McFarland. In second, Edgewood. And in first, Edgewood with a time of 1:41.60.
While we're waiting for the next event, the girls 100-yard breaststroke, junior varsity. Just a reminder, you can watch all our McFarland Cable broadcasts either on YouTube, which is where we're broadcasting today, youtube.com/McFarland Cable. If you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We greatly appreciate that. Hit also the little notification button, little bell that gives you a notification. You can also check us on TDS Cable 1009, Spectrum Cable Channel 982. And of course, McFarlandCableChannel.com. This is the junior varsity version of the 100 breaststroke. In lane number 4, we have Eliza Olson for Edgewood. Lane 5, Eva Malwig for McFarland. Lane number 6, Addie Rozameric for Edgewood. And as we get through the first 50, Eliza Olson for McFarland touching first. Rozameric for Edgewood second. And Malwig for McFarland third. The key to the breaststroke here, not only is it using your arms for the stroke, but the legs, that frog kick is just as important to get just a lot of distance with that leg drive. And it will be Olson for Edgewood coming in at a 125.10. 128.88 for Rozameric. And Malwig with a soft touch. We'll get a time for her shortly. .135.31. All right, now we're going to do the varsity version of that girls 100-yard breaststroke. Lane number 1, Bear for Edgewood. Lane 2, Ellie Draper for McFarland. Lane 3, Ballenbach for Lodi. Lane 4, Vega for Edgewood. Lane 5, Mignon for McFarland. Lane 6, Budzinski for Edgewood. Lane number 7, Colliard for Lodi. And lane number 8, Vidrio, McFarland. have in lane number 4 Vega in first, followed by Baczynski. One thing that's interesting about the breaststroke, if you watch lane 4 with Sam Vega, she has a nice long stroke versus Mignon, where she's got a faster turnover, which means she does her stroke much faster. You can see a nice long push, Very efficient in the water. And with that, she will come in first place, 1:16.99. Second, lane number 6, Baczynski with a 1:18.46. Third in first place, lane number 1, Grace Bear, 1:23.83. Fourth is Costa Mignon, 1:26.38. That is May Colliard coming in. Final strokes here. There you go. Touching the wall there. Good finish.
Results for the Varsity 100-yard back. In third, Jamie Jensen from Edgewood. In second, Caroline Green from McFarland. And in first,
And we are going to end this meet here with the final meet, the girls 400-yard freestyle relay. So in the junior varsity version, we have 2 Edgewood teams. Edgewood A's relay of Brenner, Bear, Stevenson, Rosmerick. And in lane number 6, you'll have the team of Brock, Hampton, Carson, and DeMarb. And again, just a reminder, our next swim meet broadcast will be Tuesday, October 11th at 6 o'clock versus Monroe, and that is senior night. So tune in for that. And again, just a reminder, other programming, Senior Film Fridays. Tune in to enjoy film classics twice a month. Showings will be broadcast at 2 p.m. and 6 o'clock, beginning with a McFarland Senior Services news flash, followed by the feature film. Tune in at TDS Cable Channel 1009, Spectrum Cable 982, or online McFarlandCableChannel.com. And again, 2 great Vincent Price movies. On the 7th, it is 1959's The Bat, and then on October 28th, it is The Last Man on Earth. Here's that exchange that we kept on talking about. Again, I want to thank our great staff here at McFarland Cable. Andrew Day, Stephanie Miller, Nick Boucher. You've done a great job today, as usual. Make my job much easier. Great camera work, great productions work. So if you see them out somewhere, thank them for all the work that they do. This is coming in with the first 50 here for this length. as they're coming in for the final 100 for that A relay. Also want to remind you, please tune in to the broadcast of Spartan football on October 14th, this Friday versus Evansville. That is also their senior night as well. So again, please tune in and support our athletes. And that is that A relay. That's their last, coming in for their last 25. .425.58. And the B relay coming in for their last 25 yards. Making that final turn. She puts her head down for the final few strokes there, and a 5:15, I think. Looks like there was a soft touch on one of the exchanges, so didn't quite register. So
Our final event will be the Varsity 400-yard freestyle relay. Swimming for McFarland.
all right, our final event of the evening, the girls 400-yard freestyle relay for the Varsity. In lane number 3, you'll have the McFarland B relay, Casey Draper, Addie Worth, Izzy Tobin, Ellie Draper. In lane number 4, the A relay for Edgewood, Izzy Enns, Sam Vega, Izzy Bloom, and Sylvia Thompson. Lane number 5 for McFarland, you'll have Olivia Turney, Charlotte Douglas, Carolyn Green, and Natalie Schwab. And in lane number 6, the Edgewood B relay of Mari Rank, Eliza Olson, Emma Reed, and Alex McClure. Izzy Enns taking out that Edgewood relay pretty strong there. 26.87 for her first 50. .29.81 in lane 6, 30.17 in lane 5 for McFarland. Pretty close race for second place. As they turn almost simultaneously in lanes 5 and 6. Nice exchange there by Izzy going to Sam Vega. Edgewood out, way out in front for the A relay. The race, that's another good exchange. But the race is really for second here. Now it is Carolyn Green versus Emma Reed there in lanes 5 and 6. There's the exchange for lane number 3. McFarland and Edgewood, lanes 5 and 6, are going stroke for stroke. Edgewood pulling slightly ahead. And that race is going to come down to the 2 anchors. It'll be Natalie Schwab versus Alex McClure. Let's see. We've got Edgewood. Edgewood with a slight lead, but here comes Natalie Schwab. Good exchange. She's caught her at the wall just about. And there is Ellie Draper coming in. Now Natalie Schwab taking over the lead. See if she can hold it for another 25 yards. And Edgewood is going to come in first at 3:52.77. And it looks like Natalie is going to hold off Edgewood's B relay and come in second at that didn't seem right to me. We'll check the times there. There we go. 4:05.07 versus, not sure if 4:28's right either, but definitely came in third. That'll conclude today's meet. They are calculating the scores here just shortly.
Somebody got it.
We get the scores shortly, but I'm pretty sure Edgewood defeated McFarland and Lodi, and McFarland defeated Lodi in their duel. So that will conclude today's broadcast. Again, just a reminder, our next swim meet is Tuesday, October 11th at 6 o'clock versus Monroe. And again, reminder, that is senior night. And again, I'd like to thank our staff, Andrew Day, Stephanie Miller, Nick Boucher, and please watch our future broadcasts at youtube.com, McFarland Cable. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe and hit for your notifications. You can also see us on TDS Cable 1009, Spectrum Cable 982, or www.mcfarlandcablechannel.com. This is Mike Poderski signing off. Everybody have a good night.